Bill Whittaker was a very good officer, but he never got a decoration like some of them did, and he deserved more than many of them. Yeah.
So what was the song you said you sang, the regimental hymn or the battalion?
Oh, what, the regimental hymn?
Yeah, before you...
He who would true valour see.
He who would...
He who would true valour see.
Yes, yes.
Let him come hither.
And that's what you all sang?
Yeah.
Behind Monte Trocchio, this would be. Behind Monte Trocchio.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you would have formed up.
Then we formed up and marched. Well, we had in single file walking up to Cassino.
Down to the river. Would you be one of the first to cross?
No, the company we were with, I think it was A Company, I'm not sure. They crossed over the river first, and then we crossed over, and then my section, anyway, I can't put the other section, but my section crossed over with the first battalion, with the first company, and the minute we got across the other side, we then so the idea was mines. We had just heard the magic, so we knew that we were going to be busy.
And that's in the field where the monument is?
Yeah.
Up to the road?
Yeah, up to that road.
So starting at the riverbank?
Yeah. That area.
And how far had the company got in at this point? Not very far?
Not very far, no.
I'm just trying to picture you guys on that night crossing the river. I just can't imagine. You know, the black and the tracer flying around.
Yeah.
And, wow.
We crossed over and come along the side of the river. There was mines on the banks. And then when one company, C Company, I'm not quite sure what company it was, but I say C Company, they went between two blocks of barbed wire, and that was absolutely full of mines, and they lost ever so many men there. The whole section of men were walking through and they all get blown up. And they were still in that. They were some of the men that we had to go back to get out.
Right. Yeah. And what about? Okay, so the next day, so you're all across. You've been there for the first night.
Yeah.
So what about the bridge? Remember the bridge?
Well, the bridge came over in the early hours of the 12th, didn't it?
13th.
I think I'm right.
Yeah.
The early hours of the 12th.
13th it was. You crossed on the night of the 12th.
We crossed on the night of the 11th.
Starts off on the 11th, but it goes from late on the 11th to the 12th.
That's right.
So you're then 24 hours on. Amazon Bridge opens on the 13th. So 24 hours. Yeah. So the morning of the 13th. Yeah. So do you remember any of that?
No.
No. What about tanks? Remember the tanks coming over?
The first tanks over was the Canadian tanks, I think. And there was one tank with the turret open, and he said, the tank commander said, "Is this the Bedfords?" Of course we were there.
But you remember that?
I remember that.
Wow.
And the first tank got knocked out. Yeah. Yeah.
When the tanks came over though, George, you know, when the tanks come in, did you think, thank God for that, we're not on our own?
Yeah, well, yeah, true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we heard the bagpipes.
Black Watch.
Black Watch was coming. Yeah. And they was in the 12th Brigade. We were the 10th Brigade.
That's right.
And the Black Watch was the 12th Brigade.
Along with the Royal Fusiliers, of course.
A few Royal Fusiliers.
Yeah, Ted.
And they all came across. But we should remember the Black Watch coming over.
With the bagpipes. Now here's a question.
Eh?
On the 13th, the Black Watch and the Fusiliers come over, and they push on straight away.
Yeah, that's what they just... One went.
Yeah. What was you doing before? In the next couple of days, right? You've the Fusiliers have pushed on the Bridgehead.
Yeah.
You are now still back in the field.
Yeah.
Before you then move on to the next attack.
That's right.
What did you do in that meantime?
Oh, sleep, I think.
Sleep,
I can't really remember.
No. Because I read the books, you see.
Yeah.
And I look at, I think, right, you've crossed the river, so the first 24-hour period is going to be hell.
Yeah.
Then you've had the next brigade have pushed through you.
Yeah, that's right.
You're not in the back area, you're just a few hundred yards behind.
Yeah.
So it's a case of just keeping your head down and waiting your turn, waiting for orders.
Always remember the Black Watch. They come across that bridge running.
I don't blame them.
Because Jerry would got we call it pinpoint, and he was showing it.
Yeah.
Oh, memory goes.
Yeah, of course.
Some things stick out in your mind, but others you forget.
Mm. Now, sorry to push you. There's the next attack for you is on the 16th.
That's right.
So you've
that failed.
Well, you lost a lot of men, but you take point 50.
Yeah.
The objective.
Yeah.
But as I read it, you've attacked through the Royal Fusiliers.
Well, I suppose the pioneers were really involved in that.
No.
Coming up,
No, yeah.
That'd been the rifle companies.
The rifle, yes. But you were down to 3 companies for that attack.
Yeah.
You'd already...
Well, we'd lost a company.
Well, the equivalent, and rearranged, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, one company was split between 2 others.
Mm. Yeah.
What was left of them.
Yeah. Because I was talking to Tony Iacoppi of the Royal Fusiliers, who obviously he's got a picture in your room, Tony and Lois, and he remembers the Beds and Herts coming through the Fusiliers.
Yeah.
And he said there was shooting going on all over the place. He said, and they were shooting as firing as they come through.
Yeah.
And the next day the Royal Fusiliers then got up and advanced through the Beds and Herts. He said, and there was a lot of Beds and Herts around that farm.
Yeah.
A lot of,
Yeah, of course. The pioneers, we weren't involved in that.
No.
Not in that was the rifle companies.
Yeah.
We've done our bit.
Yeah, well, sure.
Yes, there's certain things that stick in your mind, but there's others, it's just a blur.
2008. In 2008, when you went back to Cassino, was that the first time you'd been back?
Yes.
When we did the monument.
Yeah.
When we unveiled the monument.
But I can't. Yeah, I've been. Yeah, that was the first time I've been back to the Casino. Yeah.
Wow.
I can't remember going back before.
and quite emotional then.
Oh yeah. Especially when we went to the cemetery.
Yeah, of course.
And saw all the names.
And could you remember faces? Could you put faces to?
Pardon?
Could you put faces to some of the names?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, some of the blokes I went out from England with, from England out to North Africa. Yeah, some of them were picked up in the flipping minefield as well. One bloke named Jock Dargy, his name was, he was killed. As I say, he was in C Company, what company that got into the minefield. And when we went back to get them out, I was picking my way to one bloke who was hanging on the... And who should it be with Jock Dargy? I broke down more or less, and Frank Sutton says to me, "What's the matter, Mister? What's the matter, George?" I said, "Well, that's one of my best pals." He said, "Well, look, I don't think you're much good to be on this job today. Go back and report to somebody else." And we went back and we started digging the graves. I'd lost it. I mean, I've been with Jock Dargy because he was we were at Bedford together. And we were both on the QM staff. That's just one of those things. Oh well, that's a long time ago.
Do you think about it very often? Not really.
Not really.
No. Try not to.
Try not to.
Yeah.
Then you get to things like this, and it brings it back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, that's all right.
No, it's you know, in you see, people like me, we have this. We want to know what's going on, but of course, in the process, we're bringing up memories to you that you perhaps don't want to remember.